turn to page 27 in the Go Prayer book, and we'll start with the 7 Limb Prayer. Page 27. You may not find it in the white folder. You need a gold prayer book. Oh, here's one. Yeah. 27. Gosum gu pe go ne chat se lo nge sham yi tu che ti ma lu bu to me ne sa di tun tam che shak ke pa ge wa nam la je irong korwa ma tom bar du le june dro la che ki kolo korwa dong da jen gen nam jan chu chen pongo. I'll turn to page 97. And the bottom page, there's the short mandal offering. So let's chant that in Tibetan. Saji perki shu shing metok tamri rab rinshi ni te gen padi sangye shing du mi te uwa yidro kunam dag shing la che pa shok jetsun lama dampa kyenam ki che kukala ken se chu jinti jita zampe du je zima la sha ke cheki char pawab tu su idam guru ratamadalakam niryatayami. Judan Soki Chonam La Janchu Badu Dani Kapsuchi Dagi Chunyangi Pesunam Gido La Penchu Sangetu Pasho Judan Soki Chonam La Janchu Badu Dani Kapsuchi Dagi Chunyangi Pesunam Gido La Penchu Sangetu Pasho Chudan Soki Chonam La Janchu Badu Dani Kapsuchi Dagi Chunyangi Pesunam Gi Dola Penchu Sangetu Pasho.
관계 대전 대화 좀 가보면 봐죠. 제발 매번 담매번 오면 매번 다들 되면 대만이 되잖아. 저도 산재 만남제 담바달로 저도 관계 두세 예선에 따와 담제 보면 담배전에 대대 보고 담대로 maybe brief introduction to each other, please. Maybe 3 minutes, 5 minutes. How are you feeling now? Good? Better. Oh yeah, thank you very much. So now, where we stop, where we stop? Fifth. If some of you are here first time, so we are studying about death, what happens when we die. The 25 gross crores or cross, what do you call substance. So they dissolve. In the beginning, like five of them dissolve simultaneously. So so this knowledge will also help you. So when it actually happens, then you may recognize or you may recognize what's happening now rather than get confused. So there's the one benefit. Another benefit, if close one, loved one, family member, if they are dying, so you know what kind of stage they are going through, you can it will prepare you to help the best way possible to the dying person. So there's two benefits. The name of this text called Shi Kusum Ki Namsha, Shi Kusum. In English translation, what's called a three basic body. What's the title of the text?
The lamp thoroughly illuminating the presentation of the three basic bodies.
Or three basic body. Shi Kusum. But here is only like three basic body has been mentioned. Actually, there should be like Shi Kusum. Three basic body refers to death, intermediate state, birth. Kyewa, Chiwa, Pardo. No. So that's called three basic. That's not like every living beings goes through that. It's not something that you develop through meditation. It's just that's why it's called basic. That means every living being has that or goes through that. That's why it's called basic. Means Shi Kusum, death. But begin with the power Kyewa, Pardo, Kyewa, birth, Pardo, intermediate state. Chiwa, death, Chichi Pardasum, Chi Pardasum. So that's the basic three bodies. So then the Shi Kusum, Lamchi Kusum, then there should be also like Shi Kusum, Lamchi Kusum, like three path. So that is like was then there are four classical tantras. Four classical tantra: Chaju, Kriya Tantra, Chuju, Charya Tantra, Nanjuju, Yoga Tantra, then Nanju Lamiju, highest Yoga Tantra. That's four the teachings in Tantra, highest Yoga Tantra. And within the highest Yoga Tantra, there are like two stages: generating stage and complete stage. There's two of them. So then generating stage, there's like so then then eventually when you read the sadhana that associated with the daily yoga practice, so that kind of begin with something that to do with the birth, something that practice is associated with the death, something that practice is associated with the pardo. That's called three path. Okay, three path. So then in the generating stage, it's get a little more complicated. So we don't go there. Get a little more complicated. You just leave that set aside. So then there's the three fruit or three result. So chuku, dharmakaya, the result. Chukuchi, lungu, sambuga kaya, tuku, then like nima kaya. So actually there's like, sometimes you see there's four bodies, four Buddha's body. So then when you count three, so then two involved in one, so this become three. If you separate, then it becomes four. Four bodies. Not to worry about the number, not to worry. I'm not sure why I'm telling you. So there's the kushi, kusum, kushi. Kusum, so then when you go to Nepal, in the Sambuyana, in English they call monkey temple, there's like three big statues. but Masambawa, Cheresik, Shakyamuni Buddhas, that's called Chulung Tosum, so that kind of symbolize the three Buddhas' bodies, okay? So this is a brief introduction. So probably not going to review, because if I continue to review, so then we are not going forward, it's kind of going backwards every class, okay? So today, so now probably move forward. So some sign you can see in the people's physical body is quite obvious. Internal sign, you just person dying, the person who's dying is just feel, it's not real. They just feel. So if you can recognize, then you don't get confused. It's just you feel like that. It's not that your body is sinking into the ground. It's just feeling. When the earth element dissolves, then it's the feeling, the internal sign. You may feel that you are sinking. If you recognize that, then it's very obvious you are not really sinking. So then there will be no confusions. So then you know exactly what's happening. Sometimes in some other texts says, like sometimes people try to grab something on the space, they are worried they are sinking. The body is not really sinking, it's just kind of like their internal feeling. So then like asking you to hold them up, something like that. So there's earth element dissolved, there's the internal sign. So today, so we finished this 4 element dissolve, that's all done, right? So now here, Tea Jungshi Ngama Chimala Timzunis, Juangame Rangi, Rangi, Namshi Tenji, Nuba Dune, Shime, Nubasadu Song, Ngama Tims. When this called like, the earth element dissolved, like the dissolve in one element, dissolve into another element, what it really means, dissolve means that the ability, the element, they kind of support the consciousness. So that ability is kind of like deteriorating or exhausting. So that's why it's called dissolve. It's not like one element dissolve into something. It's not really, it doesn't literally mean dissolve. What it means like ability to support the consciousness, that ability is getting deteriorations, so getting very weak. So then another element, the ability of supporting the consciousness of next element become obvious. That's what's called dissolve. Okay. It's not like earth element become water, water become fire. It's not like that. When dissolve means like that's what it means. Juangama chimya rashi to soama. It doesn't mean that it does dissolve. Dissolution does not mean one element become another element. It doesn't mean like that. Even though it sounds like that, but it doesn't mean like that. It means the ability to support consciousness, that ability or power is getting weaker. So then the second element, the power of supporting the consciousness become kind of obvious. That's why it's called dissolutions. Okay? Juangama chimen so mind sachula tim ship lungi namshi sachula tim. For example, earth element dissolve into water element. What that means the earth element ability or power of earth element to support the consciousness is getting now weaker and weaker. So that's what it means, okay? Sachula timshi lungi namshi tenji nubani chulungi namshi tenji nubasa to suyana ngamin nuba chima pawanda washi juwa sachim shayana. So I'm just reading here the commentary. Saranga washi chulanga washi timo maino washi tension. That same logic applied to all the elements. Same, okay, all the elements. It's not difficult to understand. You can read, you can reread. So focus on their like external sign, internal sign. There's something to remember in order to help dying person, in order to help yourself, make sure that you don't get confused. So how you say in English, what's going on? Actually, nothing really going on. It's just the natural process of dying. No need to worry because whatever the body needs to do, so body is capable to do. So you don't need to put extra effort. The body go through that, So, the Juanshi Timjes or Ranshi Jeju Tobe Sims. So then after the four elements, now till there are now five simultaneous dissolve. So then from now on, it's going to be a little bit different. There's not five dissolve. There's not much left to dissolve. Out of 25 cross Rabanyanga cross substance, out of 25 now 5 times 4. That's like 20 elements or substance already been dissolved. So now how much left? 5. So Juashi Timjes or Rangshi Jeju Tobe Sims. So then in the future, near future, I'm working on somebody helping me to how to do animations. So I have zero knowledge now, so I only have motivations to learn. I have zero knowledge. So when I become pretty good, so then I can probably here everybody is very visual. So then I'm trying to come up with this some kind of animation or sketch to explain you this 72,000 channels. Okay, so wish me luck. Not just luck, strong luck. So at least then you have some ideas. It's all inside the body. Like 5 chakras. Then there's these channels merge. That's how we function: blink, move, drink, swallow, all of that. So then Joashi Timjes or Rangshi Jeju Tobe Sims, what is called in English? 80 something?
The 80 conceptions?
It's like conceptual thought. 80 different types of conceptual thought. Don't worry about the numbers. So there will be no quiz for that. So just Raji Jeju Tobe Sims. Nava Kalama Sims. So then next one.
The 80 conceptions are divided into 3 groups.
Oh.
Is that it? The 35 indicative of the mind?
Well, there's too much detail now. So we just, probably we are reading different texts.
No, sorry, I was just reading the commentary, Geshe.
Yeah.
So these 5 are the mind of the 80 indicative conceptions.
Oh, conceptual thought, Raji Jeju Tobe Sim. Nava Kalama Sim.
And the mind of radiant white appearance?
Oh, that's Nava Kalama Sims. I will explain later what that means. Nava Kalama Sims. Chaba Malama Sims.
The mind of radiant red increase?
Nedo Nalama Sims.
The mind of radiant black near attainment? And
No, don't worry. If you don't remember the name, it's not going to happen to you. No, regardless whether you remember name or not, it will happen. So don't worry. So these things will happen to everybody. So Chiwa Vesaji Sims.
and the mind of the clear light of death.
So that's actually same thing. Namchiji Pumbiri Chungabudi Rimjendo Chakras. This will you will, how to say, it will appear to you sequentially, not like simultaneously. It will appear to you sequentially. Sequentially? Yeah, sequentially, yeah, in the sequence. So, what is most important, whether you remember all of this or not, that's not, I think it's, of course it's important if you really want to, I say, check the best out of it, so that is, it's important to remember. So, but whether that happened or not is not based on whether you remember or not, it really happened. So, according to Zapati Rinpoche, which is very famous Nyingma master from the Eastern Tibet, highly, I say, realized holy beings from Eastern Tibet, Zapati Rinpoche. Zapati Rinpoche, like emphasize that, make sure that we think something positive, some kind of virtuous mind, something positive. So Zapati Rinpoche highly emphasize on that. So that's the most important, to whatever ways that you can think something good, or maybe I live my life quite well, I raise all my children, they're all grown up, so anything positive you can think of, even though you have nothing dharma thing to think about, anything, something positive to think. So then that's the best, the mindset to die with, okay? So these are called like, Rik literally means or lineage or race or clan, or it means many things. It means like lineage of kings, so then produce princess. Brahman produce Brahman, like that's typical like lineage. It will appear to you not simultaneously in sequence. It will happen to sequence order that I just mentioned here. Rashi Jeju Tobe Sem Ti Shimba Jubi Lu Ni Nawa Kalame Ngarudu Timgu Des Rashi Jeju Tobe Sem Sem. So see thought, every thought, Sem means thought. Consciousness, awareness, mind, this is all different names, but synonym. These are all synonym. Same, yi, namshe. Doesn't matter which way you say, it means same thing, mind is like how I should say someone who has eyes to see but doesn't have feet to move. What do you call? Someone who who has ability to see things but does not have ability to move around because there's no leg. Mind is like that. Mind, energy, or you could say lung. In Tibetan, word lung basically means energy. Energy is has leg to move around but doesn't have eye to see. Makes sense? Energy cannot see. Energy is like because Lama Tsongkhapa means blind person. Blind persons cannot see but has ability to walk, has feet. It's like energy is like that. Lama Tsongkhapa has a blind person, has a blind persons with leg. Lama Tsongkhapa. Same is called Shao Migde. Shao means Shao means even though you have leg, you can't really. There's some defect in your leg. You can't really move around. Shao Migde. That means same. You don't find here. Some other texts There's some other text, so it kind of explains. The mind is like what do you call that? Somebody, what do you call that? Somebody who has no ability to move around. Paralyzed with eye, with visions, but can't move. Energy is like blind. Energy is like blind person. Has the ability to move but can't see. But both, that's how it works, both. So therefore, thought to move around, that's why exactly when you look at the scenery, how you feel good, because some energy is going out. Every thought rides on energy. So that's how thought functions. Energy does not have eye, it's like blind persons, but it carries somebody who has eye but paralyzed. Combination can see, can move, both of them put together, then you can see, you can move around. That's how. So I think this is so make sure later on when you see some that you may not see that textbook at all. So if you see this kind of textbook, so that's what it means. Energy in the mind.
So where does karma fits into that system of energy carrying the mind? Is the energy or part of that energy the karma, or is something that is like within, it's the energy or whatever field where that
karma is carried by that mind.
Okay.
Mind, consciousness, mind.
Karma is carried by the consciousness.
Yeah, every karma that we created, second moment is every action. Second moment is turned into tendency.
Yes.
Called pacha or
Yes.
nibbana. So that goes on to the consciousness.
Yes.
So then consciousness continues. That's why every action doesn't get waste. Because consciousness continues. Kind of print on the consciousness.
Okay.
Okay. So that's why it continues.
And is the karma because what we're talking about here is how these elements stop carrying consciousness at the time of death. So it seems to me like life is just an aggregation of, elements carrying, or winds carrying these elements. I'm not really sure which one carries which one, the winds or the elements.
Between like this, the white drops that we receive from father, the
Yes.
red drop we receive from mother.
Yes.
That's how everything began. That's
Okay.
where everything began. Consciousness take place between that. That's everything began from there. So everything will end there.
Okay.
Time of death in between there. So that the consciousness will go all the way down there. So then after that, out of the force of karma, so then consciousness descends.
Yeah, so the key word that you said is under the force of karma, these things come together and then,
Yeah, of course, out of the force of karma, everything begins there. So then everything will end there between these two drops.
yes.
So then the last one, there's the consciousness is there. So that's the one take rebirths.
Yes. Is there a way to, because I'm very visual, I'm a very visual person, I'm just trying to have like a visual image of these things that are happening. So is there a visual way to explain like where karma is? Like is it
No, you can't make it visual because you can't see karma. Karma is like
intention.
Is like propensity, tendency.
Yeah.
Can you see tendency?
No.
You can see. So.
Yeah. Okay.
So, like that's karma. So because it can see because it doesn't have shape and color. If there's no shape and color, there's light will not, according to science.
Right.
In order to see something, the light has to reflect. So there's nothing to reflect because in order to reflect, you have to have shape. If there's no shape, then there will be no color. So then there's nothing to reflect. Then you can't see.
Hmm.
The tendency is tendency.
Okay. Okay.
Sorry, so
The,
I don't know, maybe somebody else will make it visual. I don't know how to make it
I
visual.
will, you know, for food for thought.
Okay.
Thank you.
Just go on. I just want to explain that to you in case if you see in the future in some text that no, that what I said, I don't know. There's a 5 category of consciousness. 5 category of consciousness, then dissolve, or maybe appear to you in sequence. In sequence? Oh. So now better to say in English, please. These things are very hard to translate with my broken English. So if I try to translate, it's going to be broken one.
The mind of the 80 indicative conceptions and the wind which serves as its mount must dissolve prior to the radiant white appearance.
Is mount?
Mount, that means like the horse.
Oh, yeah,
the
mount.
Thing, the thing it rides on.
Yeah, mount. Here, this lung, that's a literally translation. Wind is the literally translation of lung. Mainly, it's like it's energy, it's form of energy. Yeah, so now please continuously read.
So these things must dissolve prior to the radiant white appearance because its mode of apprehension and that of the mind of appearance are discordant.
That makes sense?
How it appears and how it exists aren't the same. Isn't that what it's saying?
That's hard to say. I'll give you an example. So, zindang, that's the object. You see here cat, you see here frog. Now there's two different objects. So that's what it means, like different, what is it called?
The mode of apprehension and that of the mind of appearance are discordant.
Discordant means different.
Yeah, like conflicting.
It's not it's just different. It's different. It's different. It's not conflict. It's a problem difference. Who translated it?
Jeffrey Hopkins.
Oh. What I should Jeffrey Hopkins speaking Tibetan. I think he reads Tibetan quite. Like Dharma text quite well, and his understanding of Dharma text is quite well. So, mitumba means different. It doesn't mean conflict. It means different. Apprehending on different object. These two things, everything on different object. That's what it means. Isn't it?
Also, since there is a great difference of coarseness and subtlety between these two.
Yeah, so of course the first one, 80 conceptual thought, there's a cross. Then the second one, there's like more subtle. That's why all the cross thing dissolve first. And then subtle, the very subtle to the last moment. That's the order. The order of dissolution is this. From here, then on is like based on the cross and subtle. All the cross conceptual dissolves, so then the subtle one, then last, okay, like that. When you now to take the dynamic to try to now on this to maybe she's so let's finish that.
So since there's a great difference of coarseness and subtlety between these two, coarse minds such as those of the 80 conceptions cannot exist at the time of the white appearance.
They're as good as it can get. Tina Raji Jeju Kundo Shimbe Lungda Jeba Nawala Timba Zombe Tseje. Zombe Tse, when there's 80 Kundo Jeju, 80 conceptual thought, when it about to dissolve into the what is called white something, Nawakalamism.
White appearance.
So then what kind of internal feeling or appearances that you may see, what kind of internal sign? Kundo Jujushin Belunda, Java Nawala Timba Zombeze, Mame Bawatabi Nawa Chungs, Mame Bawatabi Nawa Chungs. So then you see like some kind of flame, internal, some flame. It's not really flame, as I said, it just happened, just see flames. That's what it says here?
Yes.
Then Nawala Timbe, Nawalang Digitani, then Nawala Timbes. That appearance is when it's about to dissolve, it's not actually dissolved, when it's about to dissolve into the what is called the Nawakalama Simpson.
The radiant white appearance.
Radiant white appearances, that sounds good. What do you think? Nawakalama Sims. Nawakalama Sims, yeah. Nawakalama Sim. There's not mind. Does it say mind?
No.
Can you read, please, again?
When the 80 indicative conceptions, as well as the wind that serves as their mount, begin to dissolve into the radiant white appearance, an appearance like a burning butter lamp arises.
So that radiance, white radiance appearances, that is part of the consciousness. It's not like something else. It's like it's the thought. It's the mind. Okay, it's the mind. In Tibetan word, there is called Nawa Kalame Sim. Sim means awareness, then consciousness. It's all the same thing, Even though consciousness sounds like a little bit deeper, but it's same. Same, Yi, Namje. These are all synonyms.
In the book, I know that you're not going through the 80 items, but I was glancing at them, and some are things like jealousy. We're not experiencing, we don't want to experience negative. How does that fit?
You are concerned about that moment? You are concerned
about... it's curiosity, because I don't think I'm good enough to go through these 80, but I'm just wondering, it seems not contradictory, but confusing.
What and what?
Well, there's 33 that they start with, and some are compassion, mercy, desire, and the last one is jealousy, which is negative. Some are negative, some are positive, and I don't understand.
You are talking about the 84 conceptual thoughts?
The 80. I was just kind of going by that, and I happened to notice that some of them were negative, so I was confused.
This is kind of like, so you just think about, how you get jealous. How you get jealous? That you have to be aware. You have to be aware.
Oh.
So pretty much all this, now none of this is working. It's pretty much dead now.
Mm-hmm.
So no need to worry about getting jealous. Probably that time, so nobody will get jealous. So that probably like even the jealousy has been listed there. Jealousy has been listed there. It's a very, very subtle one. Subtle one. It's not like, in order to get jealous, that of the first and foremost, all these five senses has to
Right.
be
Yes. Yes.
be
I
aware.
see. Right. Right.
that moment.
This
that's
is
all
just a subtle.
pretty much gone.
Okay.
So you don't get jealous for. That's the very, very subtle. So no need to worry. So that time, nobody will get jealous.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, nobody will get jealous. So, and this is like, even though they're listed in the 84 conceptual, it's very, very subtle one. Then good things, it will, like it will cease. It will not multiply, it will cease. When it's about to dissolve, it's not dissolving now. When it's about to dissolve, then internal sign will be like that you may feel that you are seeing flame. Actually, you are not really seeing the flame. And if you recognize that, you will not get confused, then you know exactly what's happening. The whole point is, in the last moment, then able to grab that, like, that you, in the very end, then there's nothing, and you feel like almost like clear space. That's all you see, nothing else. So at that moment, if you can use your knowledge of emptiness, so then possibility there will be instantaneously will be liberated. There's the possibility. There's the goal to grab that moment. Okay, and who knows what kind of karma you're carrying from your previous life. So that also influence so greatly. So so the whole point is that to try to grab the clear light, time of death, clear light, that introduce that clear light, that's called mother light, everybody experience. So then while you are alive, so then you are thinking or you're reading of emptiness, you are meditating on emptiness, so then you have some experience of emptiness, then that same feeling will automatically appear at the moment. So you just introduce what you're experiencing while you are alive, meditating on emptiness. So then you introduce that to the mother light. So then the instantaneously could be instantly liberated. That's the whole point. I mean, that's the primary goal. Other things, so then you don't get confused. Then you know what stage you're going through. A lot of people get confused. In the text it says just having a knowledge, that knowledge is very important. Just having that knowledge is very important. Even just hearing that will leave the imprint in your mind. 마음에 나와지더니 대나와라 팀베지 대나와되면 나와랑 뒤지 따니 나와랑 뒤지 따니 뒤지 남과 야 다발을 전부 다야지 쳐봐 남과 신도 당신 동상을 외제 나고 나고 잘라서. So then when it actually dissolves, so then the internal sign.
The sign of the mind of appearance itself, when those 80 indicative conceptions have dissolved into it, is the dawning of extreme clarity and vacuity, as well as of light with a white aspect like a night sky, pervaded by moonlight in the autumn when the sky is free of defilement.
Chenmo, no, that's clear. Right? Is it clear? That's very clear. Then now what about the season like
Autumn.
Autumn. I'm not expert of the season, so I hardly remember all the four name of the four seasons in English. So always get confused in Tibetan between English and Tibetan. So anyway, so the autumn. What is now? Now is the winter. Then when is autumn?
The one before.
One before. So there, I'm not sure like what scientists will say, but like according to this textbook, that season there's less dust in the space. less dust. Because the rain, and there's less dust. No, for summertime, more dust. There's less dust. So there's less dust. That's why it's called clear. Sky
The sky is free of defilement,
Yeah, defilement. What is defilement?
dirtiness.
Better to say dust. The sky doesn't. Sky doesn't have defilement. Sky doesn't have delusions. It's dust. Less dust. Less dust means you can see more clear. So then, if the moon shines, then you could see the moonlight clearly because there's less dust. If there's more dust, even the moonlight shines, you can see perfectly clear because there's a lot of dust. That's very obvious, So if there's a lot of atoms or maybe dust, probably it's not atoms. There's many atoms in the space. That you can see. So now there, did you ever read the books Near-Death Experience? There's a number of books there. People experience light into the tunnels. Who knows? Maybe, it is possible they go through this dissolution, but they maybe come back. In Tibet, delo, de means death. Lo means then comes back from the dead. That's called. It is possible. People go to the death, then somehow they just bounce back or come back to square one. So that's very interesting. Light into the tunnels. So all this appearance, internal appearances, it's not like seeing this clear sky. It happens. That's all kind of like something like feeling like sinking, or like a lot of kinds, all kind of dramatic things happening. In the here now you see like clear sky. So who knows? Maybe if these people are telling the truth, light into the tunnels. So that makes sense. Why you are having this internal experience? Why? Not very important. Why you are having this internal experience? Rojang, there's like 3 main channels in the center of the body, close to the back, not here. Because this gets big and small, goes around and comes. The back one never goes like this. Otherwise, channel is going to be bent, then straight, then bent again. So then here is close to the back. So that's why I need to make these animations. Then you have some idea. These 3 channels, different colors, what it looks like, so you get some ideas. Nyinga yinjig rojangs. Ning here, heart doesn't refer to here. You say heart, where's the heart, here or here? Left side or here. So not that heart. Where everything begins, that's the center of the body. Nyinga. So this is not doesn't refer to this here, point here. Nyinga yinjig. Yin means up. Che means down. So now we have 3 channels. So the central channel is called Sauma, Roma, Changma, Rojanis. Can you read a little bit there?
Yeah. With respect to the cause of such an appearance, all the winds in the right and left channels above the heart have entered the central channel.
It has name called Roma, Changma. So there's Rojanis, there's 2 side channels, didn't it?
The right and left channels above the heart have entered the central channel through its upper opening at the top of the head.
That's why. There's that go. So need a little more explanation. You got you rojang lung tamje rojang lung what's called wind. It's called wind.
Yes.
So just think about it's energy. It's energy. Wind. Don't think about wind element that blows things. No, it's not like that. It's a subtle, there's a very subtle one called energy. So the bottom, the entrance of true side channel is here. Two nostrils. There's two side channels. The entrance or the main entrance is here, there. Central channel entrance is here, between here. There's the central channels. So then the bottom, like the what you call the end. End is the tip of organ. Tip of organ. That's all the end of three channels is tip of organ. It's connected to tip of organs. That's where the end. And into the head is different. Here, there, then there. So then one side, that energy that causes anger, then from the side channel, another side channel, the energy that causes more attachments, that runs through the two side channels. Also, so that detailed explanation, so I will, when we finish the text, so I will probably, somebody can help, maybe scratch, right, and then explain, okay. Lung tan yinge rojang yinje ge lung tamje ume yanan shube tabje yinge rojang yinje lung tam yinge rojang ga yinga yinje ge yinga yinje rojang lung tamje yinga yinje above the heart. We are not talking below, above the heart. All the energies that are in the two side channels above the heart. Oh, ninga yinji rojangi ninga yinji yinji rojangi lung tamji ume yananes. So then now you can say how many, because there's 72,000 as so now there's above the two side channel, all the energy inside two side channel rojangni above the heart, the center, where everything begins, where everything going to end, there. So then ninga yinji rojangi lung tamji ume yanani shoes. Then it's all dissolved into the here, which is the main entrance of the Tsauma, the central channels. Usually practitioners, it's not that easy to send the energy into the central channels, because central channel right now, I'm not sure about you, but in my case, it's completely blocked. It's blocked from beginning this time. It's still blocked, but it's going to be blocked maybe 20 more lifetimes, who knows. So that, kind of like there's two channels, side channels, kind of create the nuts. There's 6, there's many nuts. So then how you can loosen up those nuts if you manage to send the energy into the central channels. So that requires some concentration. Without no concentration, that's probably almost impossible. The concentration, but you can build. You can build. So what they do, they visualize some shape, like there's atung che, means like there's like a hub of the alphabet or something. It doesn't have to be, I don't think it has to be Tibetan alphabet. It can be anything or any, but it has to be some color and shape that you visualize here in the right in front of the center entrance of the central channels. But it requires strong concentrations. If you already achieve shamatha, then there's a better chance. So then first you just visualizing that is not easy, So any form or any shape, something small, not huge, something small. So that's why they cut the alphabet, even not full alphabet, they just cut up, so just visualize. And slowly you try to push that into the central channels, then people manage to do that. It's not like people who are doing that, they don't have like 8 hands. They only have 2 hands, 1 hand like us, same thing. So then they manage to push. That's how they untie the knot. So then time of death, automatically, it just energy goes there automatically, because everything has to go into the center of the heart. That's where everything begins. Then everything has to go dissolve there. That's how death happens. So, Ninga Ijeje Rojangi Lungtamji Ume Yanani Shubi Topji Jivi Zadu Jivi Zadu crown chakra, the Jiwo Dejingi Kolo. Jiwo means here, Dejongi Kolo means they are like where that has contain the white drop usually contain here. Jiwo Dejongi Kolo, that's why it's called. You see the name of the chakra there? Probably not.
The 6 circled knot.
There's 5 chakras that each has name called Jiwo Dejongi Kolo. So then here, what happens when this, from all the energy from the upper, from 2 side channels, all the energies, this goes into the central channels, so then the knot will untie. So then the drops flows down from the crown chakra. Ninga ijo roja ume mane shubyo topji jiwe zadu tres. There's no knots untie. Tove una pale tove tile kabo hami go tudeji namba yoba chui ranshi yimba tulonde. Ningiru jang dubo togoji tinto leva palte nenawa juma iji chiron da na minus, because it's white. That's why you see that kind of like color. That's why color white, because the drop is white. So now read, please. Read rest. I think I don't think I can translate.
Through the force of this, the knot of the channels at the top of the head is loosened, and since the white drop obtained from the father, which has the aspect of the syllable ham upside down, has the nature of water, it comes downward.
The hami goes. As I mentioned, it doesn't have to be Tibetan letter. It can be anything. It's just called like hami. It's called like hum alphabet, but it doesn't have to be hum. It could be who knows. It could be anything, any kind of shape or color. Who knows. If it has to be Tibetan alphabet, it doesn't make sense. Why it has to be Tibetan? It doesn't make sense. Practically, it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. Something with the shape, something with the shape. Did you finish?
When it arrives on top of the 6 circled knot of the right and left channels at the heart, the radiant white appearance arises. Thus, this is not a case of an appearance of moonlight and so forth shining from the outside.
Then that one's called, what is called? It's called?
The mind of radiant white appearance.
And?
The next one is the mind of radiant.
No, that right after that, it's not something that you are seeing externally. So then that has name, what's called Nawada Tomba.
It says it's not the case of an appearance of moonlight and so forth shining from the outside. Then it says it is called appearance because an appearance like moonlight dawns, and the empty because of being devoid of the 80 conceptions as well as the wind that serves as their mount. That's
what it's called. Just move on. Tell Nawada Tomba Shejawaji. Nawada Tomba Shejawaji. Tell Nawada Tomba Shejawaji. Now that needs to be dissolved. Okay. Now Tenga Namga Yadala Nuji Chabata Ungalija Che Tambe Tongsangyo Marbu Ham Marseji Nawa Chalas. Teach in Ninga Menjiji Rojang Lung Tamje. So now all the energy from the lower, the below the heart. So then now all of them now kind of like enter into the central channel. Meji rojangi lungda ume manane shubitoji novi tsagoji deva ture tsago dobi ture tewa tsagoji usu mali tebes tileka andoji number rashi wala so now that the low, the below the two side and all the energies that contained by two side channels that now probably enter from the lower jaw, which is the tip of organ, from there, so then enter into the central channels, so then kind of like untie the knots. So maybe you should read slow so then people understand, please.
Okay. So the sixth dissolution. After that, the mind of appearance, as well as the wind that serves as its mount, dissolves into the mind of increase. When the mind of increase dawns, a red or orange appearance, empty and vacuous but much clearer than before, shines like an autumn sky, free of defilement and pervaded by sunlight. With respect to its cause, all the winds in the right and left channels below the heart have entered the central channel through its lower opening. Through the force of this, the knot of the channel wheel in the jewel and the knot of the channel wheel at the navel gradually loosen. Thereby, the red drop that is obtained from the mother, which exists in the form of the single line of a short ah, in the middle of the channel wheel at the navel, comes upward until it arrives below the six-circled knot of the right and left channels at the heart. A red or orange appearance arises. Thus, this is not a case of the illumination of sunlight and so forth shining from outside. It is, it is called increase of appearance and the very empty.
So please you read, if you don't understand, read, so basically the not here loosen up, dissolve all the energy, that's what happens. So then the below energy has to enter into the central channels. The only way is enters like the lower jaw, that's the tip of the organ. So from there, when it enters, they then untie the knot. So that's why, because the red drop, this color red, so that's why you have this red appearances. The basic now is like, central channel is like automatically opening up. Because why? Because everything has to dissolve back to the way it started. So that's why now it's going there. So did you heard about the Timu practice? Tumu. So so they through some meditation they generate a lot of heats. In very like cold weather, you can see the steams coming out of their body. So that's what this is located below navels. That's mainly caused by red drop. So that damaru, so when you use this small drum, so nowadays people are doing like this is not really right, so you are supposed to point this elbow towards the navel. So that's how you're supposed to use. And it's something to do with opening up the Timu practice. That's why, it's not like that, so now people do, it's supposed that bell supposed to ring towards heart, So that's the right way to use the instrument, like the Timu. Ti jesu chube lunga ti jesu chube shimbe lungda cheba nyedob la timbe nyedob ji tuji. Tse tona edaba la tsumu maji toba debe nangzo dam chaji. Tene umen nangi yemeji lungnam, na umen nangi yemeji lungnam, nyinge umen nangdo dube toji, nyinge rojongi deba chuko chode. Tengi tila kabo marpab, oge tidi mabu yaonde, 닝게 두디 위나 미시베til에 까마 가고 가져서도 유수 추니 제비 나오죠. 주로는 모두 나오죠. 많이 knows. telling the more says also. Yeah. You understand? Yeah, Chugala, please read this.
So the seventh dissolution. After that, the mind of increase, together with the wind that serves as its mount, dissolves into the mind of near attainment.
Yeah, so now all the energies from the two side channel, upper, above heart, below heart, is all now went into the central channel. There's no energy left there. In the true side channel, now all the energy is lower part, upper part is all dissolved into the central channel. So now central channel, there's energy up, down. There's no energies below and up. So now they're talking about that. Oh. No, didn't it?
During the first part, there dawns a vacuous black appearance, like an autumn sky free of defilement and pervaded by the thick darkness of the beginning of night. The upper and lower winds inside the central channel have gathered within that channel at the heart, and through the force of this, the six-circle knot of the right and left channels at the heart is loosened. Thereupon the white drop that is above descends, and the red drop that is below ascends. These enter into the middle of the white and red indestructible drops that exist in the manner of a closed case in the center of the central channel at the heart. Due to their meeting, the radiant appearance of near attainment arises. Thus, it is not a case of an appearance of darkness and so forth coming from the outside. It is called near attainment and the great empty. The first.
That's enough here. So then, after that, they are talking about the definitions, how you define that mind, that's the definition. No need to know. We'll skip that. So now, pretty much, it's like now reaching very close to the end of life. It's very close where everything's begin, now everything's kind of ending there. Everything ending there. This is all happening for natural force. That's how life began, that's how life will end. So that's everything to begin. So this all could happen way before we are dying through meditations. In the highest yoga tantra, some practitioners, so that's why they can, before they die, they can separate their body and mind. They can appear simultaneously in 2 different locations, 3 different locations, because they are able to separate body and mind. So for normal people, it only happens at the time of death. So in the highest yoga tantra generation stage, so then 3 lower tantras, they have like identical one, but not the really one, identical ones, not the genuine one in the genuine stage. So there, so then so because those practitioners managed to open all the knot, upper knot, lower knot, able to send the energy into the channel way before they die. So then that's possible for everybody. So not just particular group of people, for everybody. So so then now after that is all definitions. We are not going to talk about definition. This just cause more headache. So if you debate, so you have to remember definitions. They will ask you questions. You have to say something. You can just sit down and look around. So you have to say, if they ask what is the definition of this monastery, when you debate, they will ask you, then you have able to say. Then you have to remember. So other than that, so then whether definition is correct or not correct, there's a lot of debate goes back and forth. So no need all of this more headache. So then after that, what happens? You know, sometimes you kind of like awake, or then sometimes it's kind of like faint. You know, go kind of alternate, faint, then become aware, then kind of faint, then become aware. You know, that is natural process. Don't think they have to do something. You don't have to do anything. It will just happen. Well, then you do So after the definition, so maybe now time is almost over. So then Chukla, please look at the home. After there's few definitions. After the definition, the last part. So then next Wednesday, the last part. Next Wednesday. Oh. So that's called clear light, time of death. Sometimes called mother light, or Maya Vesa. Puya Vesa says the child light. That's something that you experience through meditations, where way before you die, meditating on emptiness, think about emptiness, so then you kind of experience that similar. So that's called child light, because you produce that. It's not doesn't happen automatically. You work very hard to produce that. So then time of death, that's called mother light. That's the actual death, mother light. So then you know how you can introduce the child to the mother. So then maybe instantaneously liberate. That's the idea. So much better while we are alive, so better to think something positive every day. So then it becomes habit. So then time of death is easy to think something positive. Nothing will happen very easily. Time of death, if you are so familiar now, in the time of death, somebody just need to remind you, that's all, so that your mind will catch right away. So therefore, daily practice. I'm not saying just sit there like meditation. No, the practice. There's so many things, like every day, like manage to think like when you go to bed with positive mind, when you wake up with a positive mind. So that probably has influence in the dream that you may have positive mind, because you have been doing that when you're awake. When you first day in the morning, you are thinking something positive. When you're trying to go to bed, you are thinking something positive. So that may influence the dream that you may think something positive. So then, it's kind of like sleeping is like kind of death. Only different is like breathe. You breathe. When you die, you don't breathe. That's the only difference, death and sleep. Breath. Otherwise, every day, kind of dying, every day. When you sleep, it's kind of like death. Only difference is you're breathing, that's all. That's the only difference. Other than that, it's like same things happen. So then, idea, during the daytimes, this is happening, this is a dream. No, it's not real, it's a dream. Everything is happening, hearing sound, seeing color, smelling. If it's real, if you in your mind, if you think it's like dream, so that kind of practice will help you to recognize your dream when you're dreaming. So that also helps you to, that if you recognize your dream because of the influence that you are thinking about dream during the daytime when you're awake, that influence that helps you to remember your dream. Then if you remember that you're dreaming, so that practice will probably help when you're in the pardo, so then maybe it helps you to recognize that you're in the pardo rather than confused, or I'm dead or live. That's generally speaking, they go through confusions. But also, probably you read our pardo. Did you read our pardo in the medium state? Is there a lot of scary things? It's not definite. Don't worry, it's not definite. It's not definitely going to happen. No. It's all based on, it's not going to definitely going to happen. It's like half. It's not 100%, it's half. If you die with a positive mindset, it may not happen. If you die with a strong negative mind, probably, it's not going to be a good one. So, who said, Zapadu Rinpoche, the Nyingma Lama, very famous Lama, so said, it's all how well we live our life. If we live our life very well, honest, truthful, honest, trying very hard not to harm anybody, and trying very hard to think something positive through meditation, through prayer, to review meditation, analytical meditation, concentration meditations, and day by day, every day doing something. That's good thing, So then we'll have a lot of, like I say, become easier, rather than thinking to do something or something time of death. Nothing's going to be easy, or this year. So this text, very short, Zapadu text. So mentioned here, Zapadu said. Okay. So now time is over. Maybe next Wednesday meet again. So then, Chukila, please next Wednesday maybe skip all the definitions to the last part. So then after that, we are going to talk about intermediate state, Pardo, what happened to the Pardo. So can we call McDonald's or no? Yeah. I think this question for Sunday. These questions are for Sunday.
Oh, probably.
Yeah, for Sunday. I'm assuming these are for Sunday. Good for Sunday.
They turn to page 235 in the Gold Prayer Book. So read the general dedication prayers. Gewadinu tudak Lama Sangye Dukune Dowa Chikya Malupa Dei Sala Gerparshok Chanchu Sencho Rinpoche Make Panam Ke Gyuchik Kewanyam Pa Mepayam Gone Gondu Pewa Shok Champa Power Jita Kempadam Kudu Sampo Deyan Deshinte Deda Kungi Jesu Dalochi Kewa Dida Tanche Rab Tungo Tusu Shepe Kewa Tancheki Ngoa Gala Chotunga Pade Dashe Gewe Tsawa Di Kunkya Sampo Chuchu Rab Tungo Wagi. Then the long life prayers, 244 and 245, I think. So, yeah. Kandira we kowe shinkamde pendande wa malu jungwene chere si wan tenzin yotsoi jabe si deba du tengyu chi jonu iye nala wang shotu awatare tsembara zopa lozange we de ton le pelcho shashe genge lama sowade Tupsu chanjin jangun gawe Tenzin kyom pewe kunzer do potse Choksum kulwele mun tudu Padak so dushe kundu jak ten shao Om tare tu re soha. 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 Om tare tu re soha.
Oh yeah, so very happy that Chugila is back here, healthy. So, and thank you for coming to the class. Good night. And also, welcome Catherine. Catherine is like some of you may not know. She was long time SPC. She worked for center many years with the Julie John. So she's been helping center long time ago. Catherine, welcome. Oh yeah, thank you. Good night.